This week we're going to be cloning plants. We already had some growing. Rather than starting seeds or buying new plants, we're going to save money, we're going to save time, and we're going to start these into brand new plants. Roll the intro. This is a pretty easy project and we don't really need that much. The only thing you really need is a pair of sharp scissors. Rubbing alcohol helps to disinfect the scissors. Rooting hormone really helps as well. Not necessary, but it's very helpful. This is very cheap. It's about $8 or $12 for a bottle of this and it lasts pretty much forever. We need some purified water. Distilled water is better, but I don't have that. And we need our cuttings. So what we're going to be cloning today, we have 2 Kaffir Lime Trees right here. We have 2 Genovese Basil plants right here. This is an Italian sweet basil. We have a jalapeno plant. This is a Greg's Grande jalapeno. And we have a Thai chili pepper, a bird's eye chili pepper. I've never tried cloning pepper plants before. I've heard it can be done, so we'll try that out. I tried cloning some basil a few weeks ago, and it failed because I had the leaves in the water, and the leaves rotted. So we're going to start those again today. And Kaffir lime, I have tried cloning these as well, but when I did, that failed as well. What I did as my mistake for that is I used old growth lime sprouts. These are brand new growth, just a couple weeks old. And I planted them in soil, and that caused them to rot. So we'll try them in the water method this time. Let's keep these nice and hydrated. We want to do this as quickly as possible. Let's get started. Okay, first things first. Let's take our scissors. Let's disinfect them. This will help prevent introducing bacteria into our cuttings. So we'll just get a little bit of rubbing alcohol and we'll just wipe the blades of the scissors with that to disinfect this. And we'll let those dry for just a moment. It doesn't take long, it evaporates pretty quickly. And while we're doing that, we'll open up our rooting hormone. All rooting hormone's pretty much the same. It's just a powder that you dip the stem in before you put it in water. Okay, and these are pretty much dry. Alright, so we'll start with the lime leaves. And what we want to do for all our cuttings is we want to cut them just below a leaf node. You have a higher probability of roots sprouting out from root nodes rather than from just the middle of the stem. Can be done, but you have higher probability of success if you utilize the root nodes. Second thing we want to do is we want to cut it right below the root node at a 45-degree angle. So let's do that right now. So cut right below the root node at a 45-degree angle. Nice, clean, sharp cut. And then we'll remove these bottom leaves. These will rot if we put them in water, so we need to remove them. And roots should sprout out from that stem joint right there. Let's remove the other one. Okay, and we'll even remove this one right here. We don't need this. That'll be above the water line. Okay, so there's one of them. Let's go ahead and take this and just dip it in the rooting hormone up to the first 2 joints because that's where we want our roots to grow. Tap it off. There we go, it's just lightly coated in powder. We'll place that in our cup of filtered water. And that's it. Let's go ahead and do the next one. And for this one, we're going to try something different. Some people say it helps to prevent water evaporation if you slice these leaves. I don't know if that's going to help at all because it's in water, but we'll try it just as a side-by-side experiment. We'll see if one of them methods works better than the other. It smells like Thai food in here. It smells delicious. I wish you guys could smell these leaves. It smells so good. Alright, let's do the same thing for the basil. Now this one, I already prepared. I cut it at a 45 degree below the leaf node, cut off those 2 leaves, and then this one, what we're going to do is we're going to try to be a little more aggressive. Actually, we'll do that on the other one. This one's fine. So we'll just dip this in the rooting hormone here. Tap it off. There we go. That's our basil plant ready to go. Put that in the water here. And these 2 big leaves should hold it up out of the water for us. Okay, here's the basil plant that I haven't prepared yet. So we need to cut this right below the stem, right below the leaf node. And then we want to remove these leaves, these lower leaves. So we'll cut these off. You can pinch them off as well. It should be fine, but I don't like the possibility of introducing bacteria. And then these leaves, we'll get rid of these. Actually, we'll just pull these ones off because they're so small. Just give it a little pluck. There. So we'll grab that one, pluck that. And then this one, let's remove these bigger outer leaves so they don't fall in the water. They're pretty floppy. And now it smells like Italian food in here. Yum. Okay, there we go. That should work just fine. Get that wet again. And we'll dip this in the rooting hormone. That may rot, I'm not sure. We'll find out, we'll do a follow-up. Okay, there we go. And we'll put this in here with the other basil plant. And we want to make sure we're not going to get our leaves in the water. I made that mistake last time. That looks pretty good. That should be fine right there. Alright, now let's try these pepper plants out. So we're going to apply the same process here. Start with the Thai chili pepper. So we'll try to get these 2 leaf nodes to root. So we'll cut right below this one. We'll remove these leaves. And that should be fine. We'll remove this one as well so it doesn't flop into the water on us. I may want to remove that one. We'll see how it looks. Okay, dip that in water to get it wet. Dip it in the rooting hormone. Roll that around in there a little bit. Tap off the extra powder. I didn't get that hormone about high enough as I wanted. Let's cover that second leaf node. And you don't need much of this powder, just a light coating. There we go. And there's our Thai chili pepper. Yeah, I'm gonna cut that other leaf off right here, this one, just in case. There we go. Got some rooting hormone on the side there somehow. Clean that off. Actually, let's get rid of this leaf too. Better safe than sorry. Okay, there we go. Now let's do the jalapeno. All right, and this one's interesting. It's an interesting leaf structure. So what we'll do is we'll keep this one for the clone, and we'll try to root it right at this stem right here. So let's get rid of these leaves. Let's get rid of this flower. Let's cut this at a 45-degree angle. And let's remove this flower here. We don't want it trying to grow flowers anymore. So I'll just pinch that off. We got another tiny flower in here. I'm going to remove that one. And we'll get rid of these bigger leaves so they don't fall in the water either. There we go, baby jalapeno plant. Oh, there's one more flower in there I almost missed. There we go. Okay, let's dip it in the water. Dip it in the hormone. And there we go. So we'll see if these pepper plants actually root. I don't know if they will, but I've heard it can be done. There we go. We have our pepper plants. We have our basil plants. And we have our lime leaves. What we want to do is we want to just let these sit not in direct sunlight for about 2 to 3 weeks. It'll take until you start seeing some roots. You want to be changing the water every week so it doesn't get stagnant and moldy. Just pour it all out and then just top it off with new water. You don't need to add rooting hormone anymore. This is all you need to do. Now we just wait, and we'll come back in a few weeks and see what we have.